Very good morning, students. Welcome to biology classes. Today we are going to see 11th science biology, and we are going to see the chapter number 6, that is the anatomy of flowering plants. We have covered so many topics of this chapter, and today we are going to see the anatomy of the dicotyledonous root, right? So, starting with today's lecture, here I have written several points, and along with that I have shown a figure, right, which is depicting the dicot root, right? So the first point is the epidermis. So in epidermis, there is the presence of the root hairs which are observed, right? And along with that, there will be presence of the cortex region which is made up of the parenchyma cells, right? There is presence of endodermis where the submarine layer is present as capsaicin strips. So you can see here, you see the figure over here, there is presence of the thread like or hair like structures which are known as the root hairs, right? They are being elongate from the epidermis cells, right? That means the cells which are present in the epidermis layer, these cells are forming the hair like structures which are known as the root hairs. Along with that, the next regions you can see here where I'm pointing the cursor, this all are the cortex. This all thing is the cortex region. This cortex region is made up of the parenchyma cells. This parenchyma cells is having the function to do the photosynthesis, as well as it is also responsible for storing the food particles or the food materials, right? There is presence of the endodermis. You can see here the cells which are elongated in shape and they are forming a circular like structure where I'm showing the cursor. The cells are the endodermis cells, and they are forming Casparin strips, right? This layer is said to be the subrine layer, that because it is made up of subrine. And this layer, it is made up of, or it is present in the form of Casparin strips. You can see the strip like structures over here, and for this reason this is known as the endodermis layer, right? So this layer, see, you can see the strips over the vertical strips are present. For this reason it is known as the endodermis layer or the Casparin strips. Next is the pericycle. This pericycle is having the lateral roots, and the pith is small with conjunctive tissues which is present between the xylem and phloem, right? So you can see this circular which is having the pink and the blue and the red color structures inside it, right? So this circle is what the pericycle. You see this particular round portion, this is known as the pericycle. This pericycle is containing it is present in the lateral roots, right? And this is having small pits, right? You can see here there is presence of small pit. This is the center portion, right? And there is presence of small pit in between, right? And whatever, see the red color, whatever you see here with the red color, that is what the xylem, right? And this is the purple colored is known as the phloem, right? So here what you can see is the xylems are in xylem. There is presence of two types, protoxylem and metaxylem. The primary or the initially forming xylem is known as protoxylem, and the one which is already been matured, that is known as the metaxylem. So in pericycle there will be presence of the two types of tissues. The first is the xylem tissue and the second is the phloem tissue, and in between them there is presence of the conjunctive tissue which are responsible for binding them with each other, right? There is also presence of the pith which is present in the center, and it is present in a small form, right? So this the circle which is present in the between, that is showing the pericycle. Then cambium ring is present, where the 2 to 4 xylem and phloem are present. You can see here the cambium, see here this there is presence of xylem as well as phloem, and in between there is presence of the cambium ring. The cambium ring is always present in between the xylem and phloem. Here 2 to 4 xylem, you can see this is first, this is second, this is third, and this is four. So there are presence of four different types of, or we can say four differentiated xylems are present, and along with that the purple things which are present, that is the phloem part. Along with that, there is presence of still, that is the endodermis, pericycle, vascular bundle, and pit. So still means the addition or the combination of the endodermis, so that is the outer layer of the pericycle, then the pericycle, along with that the vascular bundle, that is the xylem and the phloem, and the center portion which is the pit. So all these four is known as what? The still, right? So this is about the transverse section of the dicot root, and this is seen in the primary roots. Next, when we are talking about the monocotyledonous root, it is almost same, but there are few changes which are observed over here in the monocot root. So when we are talking about the monocot root, in the dicot root there was presence of a cambium ring, but here when we are talking about the monocot root, there is no presence of the cambium ring in between the xylem and the phloem, right? In the dicot root there was presence of 2 to 4 xylem bundles, right? Here 6 vascular bundles are present, right? So here the first main point is there is presence. See, here also there is a epidermis layer, and on this epidermis there will be small thread like structures which are forming, and that is known as the root hairs. After that, there will be the presence of a layer which is known as the cortex region. Again, this region is also made up of the parenchyma cells, which is performing two types of function. The first function is to do the storage of the food materials, as well as the second function is to carry out the photosynthesis. Then there is presence of the endodermis layer, right? Then there is presence of the pericycle. Then the inside it there will be, this is the vascular bundle which is present in the between in the circular shape, and it is containing this is the pericycle. It is containing two types of tissues. The first is the xylem and the second one is the phloem. There will be presence of the protoxylem as well as the metaxylem. In the center portion there is presence of pith, but it is not going to, the pith is going to be a large one, and as the cambium is not present, there will be the no secondary growth which is observed here. In the dicot root, there was presence of the pith which was small, and there was presence of the cambium. For this reason, the particular growth was the primary growth. That means it was continuously dividing parts. But here, when we are talking about the Pete, when we're talking about the monocot root, here what happens, there is no presence of the cambium, and for this reason there will be no secondary growth which is observed here, right? So the no cambium in the vascular bundles, here no cambium is present. That means there will be no cambium ring which is present between the xylem and the phloem. 6 vascular bundles are scattered. You can see here the vascular bundle, you can see here they are scattered from each other, right? They are separated in the whole medium. For this reason, this is known as the polyarch, right? And this polyarch means, poly means many, arch means they are present in the scattered form, right? So for this reason it is known as polyarch. There is presence of pith which is large in size, and as the cambium is not present, for this reason there will be the no secondary growth which is observed. So we can understand that through the cambium the secondary growth is imparted, but if there is no presence of the cambium ring, then there will be no secondary growth in the monocot roots. So this is about the anatomy of the dicot root as well as the monocot root. The the points of this, that is the epidermis, endodermis, pericycle, here there will be the change in the cambium ring in the monocot. The still will be the same in the monocot root. So here we complete about the dicot root and the monocot roots anatomy, right? The next is we are going to see the anatomy of the dicot stem, right? So what type of stem is observed in the dicot plants and what type of stem is observed in the monocot plants. So first we are going to see about the dicotyledonous stem, right? So in this also there will be the present, the first layer which is present, that is the epidermis, right? I have told you about the cuticle. Cuticle is a waxy layer which is present upon the epidermal cell or the epidermis, and it is going to protect the particular plant body from the external shocks and other the environmental changes which are carried out. So this cuticle, it is also performing the function for if the adverse condition or the unfavorable condition is there, then it is going to it is imparting the function in the plant body as that it is not going to release out the water. That means the transpiration which is taking place from the leaves, it will be limited. So through the cuticle there will be less release or less loss of the water. Now there will be presence of trichomes, that is the root hair like structures which are formed from the epidermal cells. So you can see here, this is the epidermis layer where I'm showing, right? So this is the green color which is present over here, that is the epidermis layer. And the there will be presence of the epidermal hairs, right, which are said to be the trichomes. Then there will be presence of the hypodermis, right? This the cells, the pink colored cells which you can see here where I'm showing the cursor, that are the cells which is known as the hypodermis. That means the first layer after the epidermis is known as hypodermis. As this hypodermis is containing the collenchyma cells, for this reason, and it is present after the epidermis, for this reason it is known as the hypodermis, right? Next is the layer of the cortical layer, right? That is the cortex region, and this cortical layer is made up of the parenchyma cells. So you can see here this layer, this parenchyma cell, that means this layer which is containing large number or large size cells which are said to be the parenchyma cells. And this parenchyma cells, right, they are performing two functions. It provides the it is providing, or it is doing the function of photosynthesis, as it is containing what, the chlorophyll. And second, also it is responsible for the storing of the food particles or the materials, right? After the corticals layer, there will be the presence of the endodermis layer, that is the middle, this portion here, the first layer which is you can see after the cortical layer, that is the endodermis, as it is present insidely. For this reason it is known as the endodermis. It is having a starch sheath inside it. For this reason what happens, it is there there is presence of the starch sheath on the endodermis, and endo means inside, hypo means the outside, right? So as this layer is present insidely or after the parenchyma cells of the cortical layer, for this reason this layer is known as endodermis. Next is the pericycle. You can see this pink colored structures which are present over here having small cells, that is made up of the vascular bundle. So here this whole portion is going to be present as the pericycle. This pericycle is containing the vascular bundles which are present in the medullary rays form. You can see this figure, the circular figure, right? This is showing here, you can see this, that there is presence of some gaps in the between, which is where I'm showing the cursor, that is what the medullary rays, right? That means there will be several portions from at which there will be no presence of the either xylem nor phloem, right? So those all are from that portion, the particular growth can be carried out, and for this reason it is known as the medullary rays. So this pericycle is going to contain the vascular bundles, and there will be the presence of the medullary rays. Next is the vascular bundles. This vascular bundles in this type is present in the form of a ring, and they are conjoint open, right? Conjoint open means there will be a presence of a cambium ring. And enlarged protoxylem is there. Enlarged, that means, you see, you can see here when we are talking about the enlarged and exarched protoxylem, if there is presence of the first we can see is the enlarged protoxylem, that is the protoxylem is there and then the metaxylem is there, right? So if the particular, you see this figure, from this figure also you can easily understand that, see, this is the phloem, right? There is a cambium ring which is present in the between, and then the xylem is there. So if the metaxylem is present and the protoxylem, right? So if first the protoxylem is there and after that the metaxylem is there, then it is known as the endarch. And if the metaxylem is first and the protoxylem is after that, then it is known as exarch, right? So here, as there is presence of a cambium ring in between the phloem and the xylem, here what will be there? The secondary growth will be observed, right? And the last point in the dicot stem is the pith, which is larger in size, and it is containing the, see, you can see the middle portion of this, right? So this is showing the pith and it is having the parenchyma cells. So this is one cutted structure of this, right? That means there is this particular one structure is been cut and it is shown over here. So this all things, it is been seen through this way. The first layer shows about the epidermis, right? There is presence of a cuticle layer on the top, and then there is presence of the hypodermis, which is made up of the collenchyma cells. After that, there is the presence of the cortical layer, which is formed of the parenchyma cells, right? Next, there will be the presence of a layer, that is the endodermis. Then after that, there will be the presence of the pericycle, and it includes the vascular bundles with the medullary rays, right? These vascular bundles are present in the form of a ring. They are conjoint open because there is a presence of a cambium in between the xylem and the phloem, right? Then there will be the presence of the endarch protoxylem. That means nearby to the cambium, the first, from starting with the pith, if we are seeing, the first thing that comes is the protoxylem, and after that the metaxylem is present. For this reason, this is known as the endarch protoxylem. Here, the pith which is observed is comparatively larger, and the pith is made up of the parenchyma cells. So this is about the first type of stem, the anatomy of the stem that is seen in the dicot plants, right? Second is the monocot stem, right? Monocot stem, and that is, you can see here that it is having same things, but here we are, what are the changes which are observed is we are going to see here. So here the first layer which comes is the epidermis layer. After that, the first layer after the epidermis is the hypodermis, and after this hypodermis is made up of a specialized cells which are known as sclerenchyma, and there is presence of the scattered vascular bundles. There is no particular sequence or there is no particular places where the vascular bundles are present. You can see here that there are so many vascular bundles in this region, right? This is the monocot stem and it is cut, and the vascular bundles are present in this form. They are not present in any single or any given places, but they are scattered throughout the whole body or whole part of the stem. Then there is presence of the bundle sheath, right? You, that we will see over here. You can see that there is presence of bundle sheath, that is the vascular bundles are conjoint close, and no cambium peripheral vascular bundle are smaller than central part. Or we can say that there is, this bundle sheath is showing that there is, the vascular bundles are conjoint closed, right? That means there will be the absence of the cambium ring, right? So no cambium is present, and for this reason there will be the no secondary growth which is observed. The peripheral vascular bundles are smaller than the central ones. You can see here, this central ones are said, peripheral vascular bundles are said to be this, where I am showing the cursor. As it is present on the periphery, it is known as the peripheral vascular bundle. These vascular bundles are comparatively smaller than the ones which are present in the middle. So the middle vascular bundles or the central vascular bundles are comparatively larger in size than the vascular bundles which are present on the peripheries. So if it is asked, then you can write that the vascular bundles which are present on the peripheries, they are smaller in size compared to the vascular bundles which are present in the center. Now, there will be no secondary growth and there will be no trichomes. That means here no hair, root hairs or the stem hairs or any type of trichomes which are observed over here. And here there will be the no secondary growth which are observed, as there is absence of the cambium. That means there is no presence of the cambium ring is observed. For this reason, what happens, there will be the no secondary growth which is observed. And the last point of the monocot stem is that the water containing cavities are present and no distinct pith are observed. So here there will be the presence of the water containing cavities in the middle of this cells which are observed in this stem, and there will be no distinct pith. That means you cannot distinguish that where exactly a pith is present. So for this reason here you can see that there is no presence of pith, you can see, but the middle, this all the cells which you can see which are comparatively larger in size with green colored, this all the cells are coming under the ground tissue system. So they are not having the exact cells, right, but they the cells, the multiple or the multicellular cells are present which is coming under the ground tissue system, right. So this is about the second type of the anatomy of the monocot stem. So today we have seen about the two types of anatomy. The first, that is the anatomy of the root, and the second, that is the anatomy of the stem. And in that also we have seen about the two different types of plants, right. In roots, then we have seen the anatomy of the monocot root, and then we have seen about the anatomy of the dicot root. Same way, similarly, we have also seen about the second type, and that is the anatomy of the monocot stem, as well as we have already seen about uh, the anatomy of the dicot stem. So I hope you are very clear with today's lecture, and I hope to see you again. Thank you.